different types of punishment, of course. There's a physical punishment like spanking and time out, grounding, taking away privileges. These are all physical stuff, yeah, material is stuff. But also there are, things like not talking to them, and these are form of punishment, more psychological punishment. Even in time out, sometimes some parents will take time out themselves from the family. So I'm taking myself time out. I'm not going to talk to you for the next hour or two, whatever. They stay away for like 2 weeks, not talking to each other, and it happens also with parents. That is a complete failure of communication, and that is not encouraged at all. But time out, what I meant by that is in crisis, when everybody is so agitated and angry. If the mom is angry, or the dad is so angry that he cannot communicate effectively and calmly with the kids, it's advisable and it's wise to stay away and take a time out for some time and then come back and talk. Okay? Again, the effects are temporary and it loses effectiveness. I mean, the punishment is temporary and it loses effect very quickly if it's done repeatedly. And in punishing, the child, instead of focusing on the behavior that inspired the punishment, usually the child focuses on the anger toward the adult or the shame about themselves. Okay? So you have a child and they did something, and then you go and spank them or slap them in the face. Okay? Very shameful or humiliating kind of punishment, without what we said yesterday about negative consequences and all that. Just hit them and spank them or humiliated them in front of people. What are they going to do? Instead of focusing on the behavior that made them get the punishment, they will focus on the humiliation, the shame, being embarrassed, being angry at you, being feeling that it's not fair, and all those negative feelings, and they will never think about the behavior. Have you ever seen a child get spanked and would say, you know what, in his head, I really deserve to be spanked because I did this? We never hear that, it's not going to happen. So it doesn't make them think about their behavior that much. It just provokes this anger and fear. And a lot of times adults or parents will think that the children are misbehaving because the punishment is not severe enough. So they will increase the punishment. So instead of slapping them, they use a belt. Instead of belt, they lock them in a closet. I had a patient who came to the inpatient psychiatric unit, and he's completely, sick individual. His father used to lock him up for hours and days in the closet when he does something. So can you imagine a 5 or 6-year-old being locked up in a closet for all those hours in the dark, or even days, overnight? Horrendous stuff. Punishment works temporarily with punishment. They look at it like this: parents will win a quick battle with the bad behavior, but unfortunately, you will lose the long-term war with discipline. Okay, do you understand that? So it will immediately does something to help with this specific behavior, but on the long run, you lose the war of discipline. In other words, you're not going to get a good disciplined self-disciplined child or a grown-up after that. Okay, 4 things the punishment will do, 4 R's of punishment. Number 1, first R is resentment and anger. So punishment causes anger and resentment, and they think it's unfair. Okay? Number 2, it can cause revenge. They are winning now, but I'll get even later. So it can cause this sneakiness, and they will do whatever they want. And believe me, kids are very skilled at making parents sometimes go crazy, go nuts. So they will come back sometimes if it's repeated, and they feel it's this hurt all the time. They will get back to you in a very different ways. It can cause rebellion. I'll do just the opposite to prove I don't have to do it their way. And number 4, it causes retreat, and that's the sneakiness and the passive-aggressive behavior, meaning I'm not going to defy you actively. I'm going to show you that I'm complying, but from behind, I'm going to still do whatever I want. Okay, or use something else to not do the behavior that I'm supposed to do. Or also the retreat is complete, like we said in the past, with the 4th type of mistaken goal of behavior. I'm a bad person. I give up, and I will do whatever I want anyway, or I'm not going to do anything anyway, because no matter what I do, I get punished for. No matter what I try, it's not enough for my parents. Okay? So, R for resentment, R for revenge, R for rebellion, and for retreat, which is the giving up. Okay? And of course, this happens with inappropriate and severe punishment that is not, that's more abusive kind of thing. Okay, important punishment rules. Now, you decided that a punishment is necessary. You got to have some rules for the punishment. All right? Number 1, use punishment sparingly, like we said. Too often child gets used to it and it loses effect. We already said that. Number 2, choose punishment that will decrease the undesirable behavior and change the technique if not effective. I see that all the time. I have a child who's, say, oppositional or whatever, hyperactive or doing something disruptive. And the mom, every time he does that, she spanks him or gets the belt or grounds him, okay? But then a day or 2 later, he does the same thing. So she does the exact same thing. And it keeps going on for years. Okay, come on. You tried it once, twice, 3 times, it didn't work. We have to think about something else, don't you think? Or we just keep doing the same thing. We can't. So always choose punishment that will help change the behavior. If you tried it once or twice, didn't work, then what's the use of using it? The only thing you're doing is to trigger those 4 R's that we talked about. And you're not getting any benefit from it. Number 2, use punishment with positive technique. Encouragement. And I said here, encourage, encourage, encourage. So if you have to do punishment, add on top of it 10 times encouragement later. Okay? Even at the same time. After a minute or 2 or a... No, yeah, but in the same incident. Okay? Remember this big message, the message of love? This has to go through. So you, after, even if you are punishing that person, that child, you have to do it in a way positive and encouraging too, and with it. And we can talk about this later. Don't delay punishment. Why? Because kids, especially younger kids, if you delay the punishment, they cannot associate it with the behavior. They will forget. It's like a child in, say, you took the child in shopping center, and the 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and then they did something wrong. And then you wait until they go home. And then you start spanking them at home. They will think that you are crazy or something, because they don't remember at all what happened. So yeah, it has to be right away. Okay. So say, for example, they had a temper tantrum in the mall. All right. So, and you want to punish them by time out. Okay. Take them to time out right there. Okay. So choose a corner somewhere in the mall, and you sit there for a minute or two. Then they can associate with it. But if you wait until they go home and then you put them in time out at home, it doesn't make sense. They cannot associate with the bad behavior. Always explain the consequences. All right? When you're punishing, or right after you punish, say this child, you put them in time. We'll talk about time out in detail in the last session. To put them in time out. After that, you will ask them, do you know why I put you in time out? To remind them what happened. Okay, so always explain why they had the consequences. Because a lot of kids don't understand that. They don't understand at all why this big, humongous person, mom or dad, come and hit me or spank me. I was having fun. I was pulling this nice thing in the wall, this electric wire, or I'm plugging something in this very nice electric socket there, then, it sounds like nice. So, and then you come and yell at them and spank them, or slap them on the hand. And they will look at you, what's wrong? I was having fun. If you don't explain to them why, they will never get it. They will only think that mom and dad, their mission in life is to make my life miserable. Okay? And a lot of kids actually think the same way. Their mission, and they think that our mission in life as parents is to make their life miserable. God created mom and dad to make me miserable. Unfortunately, I hear that sometimes. Okay? So always explain the concept.